So, we're
Well,
back with a new setup, and it's probably terribly echoey on my side, and I am holding two mics. Well, two mics are in shot. So, one's for Discord and one's for recording. So, that's the reason you probably see two mics. And
yeah,
and
it's
I'm using
it's
this
surround
as
sound.
I'm using this as an excuse. If anything goes wrong in the audio, it's peaking, anything gets corrupted, like it's happened in the past two of my videos, this is my excuse. New setup.
On my end, I'm going to go ahead and point out, hoping I'm at least capturing audio. I have mail coming, and my dog is right here, and that window is a clear view to where he will walk up. So, at any point in this episode, there's going to be a postal dog going after the mailman. So, just be aware of that. We might,
That's gonna be fun.
might have to turn the volume down when he's barking, or just cut it out. I'm
We
not
need a
editing this, so
we need a cam for the animals, and I'll probably have cats busting down the door. But all right, should we get on to the first thing that I'm actually pretty excited about? Is
and what's
Kingdom
that?
Come Deliverance 2 was announced.
Yes.
Stealth dropped actually, and I'm pretty excited about this one. I have pretty high hopes that it will be good. I really do want it to be good, but knowing games these days, there's a chance it won't. But I it's making me want to play the original. I don't know. I think I've told you before this. I ended up playing it for like I put like 30 hours into the original game, and I ended up not. I don't want to say rage quitting, but kind of dropping it for a bit. It wasn't in anger. It was a all right. I need to get good at some other point, and I don't feel like doing this now because the combat was so hard in it. Like it was
Yeah.
pretty realistic and hard. And
It's when it, so I just want to say I was watching the trailer before we started recording, and I had like 10 seconds left, so I missed the end of it. But anyways, I've seen enough about it. But the first game, I did play a little bit of it, but I did not play a whole lot of it. Because it was super hyper realistic, which definitely intrigued me. I don't remember when I started playing it, there was something else that pulled me away, but I've been wanting to go back to it. But isn't it supposed to be like one of the most realistic first person just like sword combat?
yeah, I think it is. It's realistic in a lot of other ways. I know they like pride themselves on historically accurate. I
Uh,
know one of the big things you hear about all the time is they like I think they I don't know what do you call people that like map out like castles and everything, like historic castles. I they
I don't know.
a map photographer. What do you call like a map person?
Cartographer? What is that? What's a
That's what I was
cartographer?
gonna say,
I
a
was think,
map topographer, but I don't
I
know if
think of
that's
Halo.
right.
What is Oh,
That actually
I don't
might be
know.
right. Anyways, they like
Cartographer.
talk to like
Someone let us
historical.
know in the comments.
They talk to like historical people that knew layouts and had blueprints of these maps, and actually, I think made the castles like really realistic and the stuff like that.
Mm.
And you can actually tell the castles when you go in them are they seem pretty realistic. They're different from any other game you've ever played of.
They look like all the castles that you've been
Yeah, I've been in
in real
quite a
life?
few in my
They look
life.
pretty much like every castle that I've been in real life.
Yeah.
It, that's awesome. They're so accurate, but like I wouldn't know. To me, I think castles in real life look like I just assume they all look like Skyrim. The Skyrim castles,
Just Whiterun.
all
Every
they're all identical. They're all identical.
Wouldn't it be awesome to have like a castle? Actually, wait, I have been in a castle, I think, before. Well, a castle tower, right?
Oh, we've been St. Augustine. Is that what you're talking about? St. Augustine, Florida.
No, no,
There's
no.
castles
That
there.
that like
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, it doesn't matter. But
Oh,
getting
you're
off where I
talking
was saying.
about the tower at the park.
Yeah, wait,
I
that was
wouldn't call that
wooden.
a
Okay, never
castle,
mind.
but
Um,
that was a log tower.
anyways, actually, let's just log tower. Yeah, it's a castle, same thing. Just reminded me of
I,
something in Kingdom Come is if I'm correct, you can like spec the way it worked is you could spec in almost like life kind of skills. Like I don't remember a lot. All I know is you're pretty much like you can't read. You're illiterate in the game. Like you've got to
what?
train. You've got if I remember correctly, you've got to like level up your reading skill because it's like everything's like all jumbled when you pick up a book and everything.
Oh, I do. So I remember I only played a couple hours into it, but I know I didn't play long enough to get into any sword combat, so I never
Yeah,
got to
it is
experience the
far.
fight.
It
But
is far
yeah, I
in the
do remember
game
there's a
combat.
lot. Yeah, there's a lot more to the game than combat. I remember it's
Yeah,
very much like a lot of. It's very methodical. It's very well thought out, and it's very slow from what I picked up on it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the game ramps up if there's a ton of combat or not. I don't know.
I think I got
But
out of like like where the game like it shows like the logo and everything. I ain't gotten to that part. They're like bandits and like you'll encounter a lot of combat later on. And I remember my tactic was to run backwards and pelt the enemy with arrows while like helplessly running away with a shield because I couldn't do sword combat. But it was fun.
just throw rocks or something. Yeah, I want to go back and play that. I remember it was not on PC for a while. Was it only PC?
Uh, I think it was on Game Preview. I could be wrong. I know it was a Kickstarter and they like blew it out of water or blew like the Kickstarter out, but I think it may have had like a preview or beta or something like that in PC. I do know it also did launch with a lot of bugs, but I don't know if that was PC or console. I kind of thought that was the game preview thing, but
Yeah, I thought it was like I remember seeing a lot of footage from PC and it looked amazing, and I was excited on the Series X to see what it looked like on there, and it looked really good. But yeah, I was really excited to see the combat because the most I don't know if it's the most realistic, but the most fun swordplay combat I've ever played was For Honor, and I know it's a completely different game. I know it's third person, but I don't
they're
know the way you use the
pretty.
analog
Yeah,
to navigate the sword and your shield.
I feel like the mechanic of like For Honor with the like, I think parrying and all that's like similar and everything. It's been a while since I've played like either of these games. I think I played Kingdom Come in like 2019, something like that.
Yeah,
Which
but there's
um,
there's a new one. The trailer looked really the story looked like there's more story involvement. I don't remember if
yeah,
there was a story or not in the first one, but
I think there was
this
a
one
lot
looked
of story. But I know they
okay.
like
Say
they're touting that there was like I think 5 hours of cutscenes in this one versus three, which I think
that's
the
it.
majority of it wasn't
Seems
cutscenes.
wait
It was like
no, that's a
talking.
lot.
Yeah,
I was like, I feel like that's not a lot, but then I was like I'm trying to think of other games. I don't know. Yeah, do they count like dialogue cutscenes where you're picking what to
no,
say?
I think it would be like full cutscenes where you're not talking, which is
Oh,
a lot for a game like an RPG like that. Um, so guns are gonna be a new thing in it. You see that in the trailer? Like
ah,
very old fashioned guns, like it looked like a
no, I missed
firework.
that.
Yeah,
No, I missed that.
he loaded like I don't. It looked like the old fashioned like almost bottle rocket guns or whatever. He loaded it and like fired. It was like a one shot thing.
No, I
Um,
don't know what a bottle rocket gun is. What?
like like
Like a
the. I'm trying to think.
is
I
there
only know
like a musket, like black powder? Where
it
they
looked
tamp the
more
powder in the
close, but it looked
like
more.
a
It looked more medieval than a like a musket.
oh, they're
Like
shooting out of
the black powder, and
it.
probably a stone. It like
Just
I
shoot, just cramming rocks in the guns before the no, like was a lead ball,
yeah, I think
forks, spoons.
the like very old fashioned gun. It doesn't matter too much. They're like they look like weird guns. Anyways, there's like one shot guns in it now, which seems fun. Um, and I have a feeling this time around it is going to be like the talk of the year. Like I have a feeling if it releases good, I think it'll be the talk of the
I
year,
think
like the Baldur Gate or Elden Ring of the year.
I don't know if it'll be that good. Maybe. I mean, they step up the mechanics and like what there is to do. Like I said, I didn't get to play a lot of it, so I don't really know what I was missing out on. I know I was missing on a lot, but it did look. If it has a good story, I think it could be like. First of all, is it exclusive to Sony? The trailer said Sony. Who owns
Uh,
them,
did it?
or is it?
I think that
Is it
was the
not
Sony trailer. I would imagine it would be on everything else. I actually don't know. I think. I mean, it released on PC originally. Um, but I will say the one thing that does worry me is have you heard the quote being like touted around with them?
from the game? No.
Yeah. So this is the one thing that worries me. is they claim it will be much bigger in scope with the 5 hours of cutscenes instead of three, and much more epic. I feel like anytime a company
Like
boasts about
Starfield.
their game, like when they start boasting about it, it's not good. I feel like it never ends well for anyone. You get too high expectations, and it makes me worry at this day and age.
Yeah, I feel like expectations of gamers are already, well, not anymore, I don't think, but they're generally really high. And then when, the developer comes out and says, hey, it's even better than what you think, it's like beyond realistic expectations.
Yeah,
And
I feel
then
like it's
it's a setup for a letdown.
I feel like it's both sides. Like they're usually games nowadays are a buggy mess, and then they talk about big expectations, which they keep hyping up, which ramps. There's more. It comes out buggy, and it just destroys the expectations and ends up worse than what people originally thought it was. Like Well, no, actually, Cyberpunk was a whole nother deal. But yeah, which
Yeah, I don't
is
think we'll
the
get another
only thing that
Cyberpunk
worries me.
story.
Though
Yeah,
I do
Cyberpunk
like
really.
that. What?
I was just say they came back. They turned everything around.
Oh yeah, I need to beat that. That I actually was enjoying that a lot. Um,
Mm-hmm. I
but
I'm one of the few people that had no issues day one. I had
I
stupid
don't
glitches,
know
yeah,
how.
but nothing broke
I
on me. I was able to play on the
I
Series X.
I literally watched
But
Mason play it like 2 years after you. Mission one, Jackie T posed, face planted, and he had to reload. Like
oh,
mission one.
yeah, Jackie would do some weird stuff, but I never had a reloaded
Just
file.
Jackie. Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
the locker thing.
yeah, he went through walls and stuff, but nothing broke the mission. But anyways,
Yeah.
this game, I think, I think it looked from the trailer, it looks like mechanically, I don't know, the way they moved looked like it was maybe on a new engine or it just looked better overall. I don't know. Did it look the
I
same? I
think it
haven't
was
seen the original in a
I haven't
while.
seen them in a while, but I think it looked better. I think was one thing that I find very interesting about the trailer is a pet peeve I have of games nowadays that not about this. This is one thing Kingdom Come is doing. Is sequels to RPGs where you don't play as the same character. And you're playing as the same character in this one. Like
Yeah, you're playing as Steve Cook.
who is that?
Steve Cook. You have to look him up. I
Let me
remember when I
see.
first played the game. Looked just like Steve Cook. He's a
Wait,
fitness influencer.
Steve Cook?
Yeah, Steve Cook. I think he'll come up. You look him up.
It came up as a
I don't
you.
know.
Okay, yeah, you're actually right.
Yeah,
He does.
yeah, he looks like him, right? Doesn't I mean not built
Yeah.
like him, but I wish the characters
Well,
are built like
actually,
him.
you're a
But
knight.
yeah, I think he looks like Steve Cook. I don't mind that. I mean, I like RPGs, but I also like my type of games are third person story driven games. I
Uh,
don't mind having the character be a character, not just me. You know, and Xbox doesn't have a lot of those, but I enjoy, the God of Wars, the Uncharted's,
yeah,
Horizons, but
which you can
they're
do
all
like
Sony
Shepherd.
based. But
Like Shepherd with
yeah, yeah,
RPGs, like you rarely
yes,
see an RPG like continue with the same character like of multiple installations of the game. Usually it's like Dragon Age where every single
yeah,
one's different. And I can sometimes understand why Dragon Age is I think fine with it, but it is refreshing to see like a sequel not scrap the original character and try something new to garner a new audience with people, which
yeah.
I like.
But you don't like playing as the same character, or you
No, no,
do?
I do love it. I like it's rare nowadays, and I like playing as the same character because it's not often seen. Like well, it's seen
Eh.
a lot, but it's not like I feel like companies or devs always like make a new character to like so you don't have to play the original, get a bigger audience to buy the games, and
Yeah.
so you can start fresh.
Eh.
Like I would assume Dragon Age is doing, but that is something I'm excited about. Like actually be able to like grow like know this character more than jump into a second game and already know him and know like a lot about him like and have like the victories of the old game like how much of a baddie this character is.
Yeah, you feel like everything you've put into the first game carries over. Your own
Yeah,
personal stories are between you and this character.
yeah.
How long is the first one? If we were to go back and
Well, I
play now,
put
how long
like
is it going to take?
40 or 30 hours into it and got past like the title screen, but I sucked so
See,
bad.
that's what I'm worried about. Like I don't have. There's too many games, and
It's
I
a
don't have.
large commitment.
Yeah, I don't have the hours to allocate to a game like that right now. But
Yeah.
I really want to play it, and I don't like to start games and not finish them. But
Oh, yeah.
when does this new one? When is this new one set to release? Is there a date?
You don't know
Is there a?
everything I researched. I did not check a date. I don't know why I didn't do that. Let's see.
Oh, well, it probably doesn't matter anyway.
I'm assuming. I'm gonna assume 2026.
You're guessing.
Oh no! It is planned for 2024.
Oh, the fall.
It just says planned. Um,
Hmm.
sometime in 2024.
Well, that's
Did
this
I? It
year.
says at the
Yeah, we'll
end
see.
of the trailer. Did I not watch the end of the trailer, or am I
I
blind?
didn't. I said that at the top of the podcast.
Um,
It's the end, so I don't know if it said it or not, but well, that's cool.
yeah, it was something I did not expect to like randomly see announced. Like, it was not a
Yeah.
game I expected at all. Um, which also brings me to a second topic that I wanted to bring up is which actually ties into this because I did not know this. The Embracer split. They have
Yep.
split into three companies. Which when did Embracers buy Kingdom Come? Did you know that?
I don't know who owns who makes Kingdom Come. I don't know. Who
Warhouse
did
Studio, which I think
or
they're
did they
owned
buy?
by
I don't know.
Embracer. I don't know. It must have been in
I
the
feel like
buying spree of Embracer, which
yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I did not know that. And something else that makes me laugh is one of the company that they split in. One of the companies they split into is Middle Earth Enterprise and Friends. Like it is an entire company just like
Wait,
built
that's what the company's called.
Middle Earth Company and Friends.
That's the full name.
Or Middle Earth, sorry, Middle Earth Enterprise and Friends. I don't know why I was adding company.
Those are
But
three companies or one?
no, that's one. The other one is Asmodee Group and Coffee Stain and Friends. I don't know what's up with the Friends, but yeah.
Out of France.
Which I also didn't know they own Coffee Stain, which, as read here,
I've never heard of them.
they own like all the indie, well, not all of them, but all the like popular indie games. They will now focus on indie like they did before, indie, mid market, and free to play game. I did not read that. Properties setting under the new company include Deep Rock Galactic, Goat Simulator, Satisfactory, Wreckfest, Teardown, Valheim, and more. But yeah, they own some of the biggest games.
I can't track who owns who anymore. I feel like
It's
everyone
been a
owns
buying
somebody
spree.
and then somebody owns them. Yeah, it's buying, sellouts. There's companies going
Buying,
under.
sellouts,
Oh,
layoffs, going under. It has been a mess. And
it
but
has.
I was just laughing at Middle Earth Enterprise and Friends. And
Yeah.
if I'm correct, they are the company they bought made Golem, right? That's who made it. Embracer published, right?
Sounds familiar. I'm not sure.
Which it just makes me mad that or it makes me laugh that they bought the rights and then made a whole separate company to make Middle Earth games. Googling
Wow,
who
and
made,
is Gollum all they got out? Is it the only one they got out?
I'm
Since
pretty
they've
sure, and the company got shut
oh,
down. I could be talking out
good.
my A of this, but
That's
that's
not
what I
good.
thought.
That's not good. I shouldn't say that. I mean, who knows what? Who's to blame? That game was awful.
From what
But
I understand, they were good. What were they? They were. I think they were a strategy company. Like I think they made strategy games, and I think whoever like, I could be wrong about this, but like, kind of told them to make this because they had the rights now, and it was like a. I mean, you're telling a team that's been making strategy games for years to make a stealth game and Middle Earth. Like what? That is a tall order.
yeah, it's very different, and it's scary to take a very known IP like that, and very known character who a lot of people love, and attempt
I
something
think
like
very
that.
known might be an understatement. Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
transcends all media.
Yeah, a lot of people know of this thing called Lord of the Rings.
And Golem.
But,
And then they
and
take it and
Golem.
do that.
I think he's in Lord of the Rings, actually. I
Yep.
think he's a main character. But anyways, no, this split, nah, I don't know. There's a lot. A
I
lot going
think it's
on. I have it.
I think it's good for them because a lot of these times these companies have a lot of like it just cuts down who they have to go through, I would assume, like their bosses. So they don't have to go through every corporate well, all like the I would assume managers and instead have like one head that I think is overseeing everything and they talk to I'm assuming the shareholders and everything is the way it would work. But
Like less levels of hierarchy, or does this make
yeah,
more?
I think it would be the same but split. So only one person
Uh,
like I think it would just be better managed. Like less of just a mess of companies under like the same management and three different companies working up the same thing, which I would think would be better and is the reason for this or they did something weird to probably some controversy that just happened that they're trying to throw off.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard because like it's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we just won't know,
Oh yeah.
whether, but I don't know. I don't want to
I
feel
think
any
it's a
either way about it
positive.
because I really don't know.
Now, Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma, as you can see behind me, I got it on my screen here.
Yep.
So I've been playing it. That's been my current play right now. You have not been playing it?
I played it for 5 hours, I think, and
And then
I
what?
it's not for me. It is I like I realized it was not for me, and I decided to kind of cut my loss and not power through just because like everyone was playing it and everything because it looked like a fun game, but my main problem is the non fast traveling, the running, the stamina, the weight, all just it felt like why am I doing this? This isn't fun to get to this town, and it just wasn't for me. Like managing all that on top of like the RPG was fun, but not the traveling. I didn't like. I just don't like not having fast travel in
Yeah.
games that aren't like survival or something like that. But yeah, I
Yeah, there
do
was
think it. Look,
I was there's a lot of people's issue with it. It is a big part of the game, but um I actually like it. Well, I like it and I don't. I like that they have it. I'm sure you have a lot to say about the microtransactions and the into it
oh
to pay
yeah,
to travel. Yeah, so let's stick to the positive for a minute. So
yeah.
I am somebody who loves traveling in games. I like the games to feel realistic, and I like the journey to feel more worth it. So, a game I played the crap out of, and I'm one of very few that probably finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey and all of the DLCs. And when I played through it the first time, I didn't fast travel at all. I didn't want to fast travel. Every time I had to get from one point of the map all the way to the other point of the map,
That
and
is
I'd take the boat.
crazy to me.
I thought it was so fun to like the game for me was like, all right, I wanted to feel like a small actual person in this world. And I actually have to travel. And if I run into people, there's the whole story to getting to the story there. It's for me. I can understand like if you don't like the game, it gets repetitive. And
Yeah.
that game is huge. I mean, I don't want to talk about that right now,
Ubisoft
but
is
yeah.
known for making huge, well, maps with a
Yeah.
lot of things in it, regardless
And
of if you like the content or not. But that's what they're known
yeah,
for.
I love it. I like their games. In Valhalla, same thing. I'm not fast travel. Well, I usually play through the story until when I start 100%ing collecting everything. I will fast travel around there because it does get repetitive, just opening chests and everywhere in that way. But I don't not enjoy it. But no, I do. I like the traveling. So when that was said about this game, I thought that actually sounds interesting. That with Assassin's Creed, those games they weren't. I never heard anyone talking about like you shouldn't fast travel. You should actually travel there,
Oh yeah,
by foot. And I had fun doing that. That wasn't even like part of the game. So when they said this was part of the game, was the actual traveling from town to town, I thought that's interesting. So I enjoy it. It's not like super interesting. It does get repetitive, but to me, it's repetitive in a video gamey way. So like it's this open world, but it's like is there a word for that? Like a fixed open world. There's the same paths you go on, but it feels like the old like PS2 games in a modern world. It feels like this good mesh
I actually
of a
honestly think that
modern.
might be a good open world where like there are you're talking about Dragon's Dogma, right?
Yeah,
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 I think
Dragon's
it's
Dogma.
actually like the one thing I will credit them for is they did do an open world right. Like it is
Yeah,
there's no bloat. Everything seems like
if
I watched a lot of someone playing it. Everything seems to have a like you get something from everywhere. Everywhere is a adventure instead of like a checklist of like, oh, I just need to do this, do that. It's a actually this may be a
yeah,
cave and I might get something good and we're like instead of like well Ubisoft having like a like camps and everything. But yeah,
hmm
it was a good open world from what I saw.
yeah, and there's not like filler stuff. Now there's a couple repeat like grunt goblins you'll run into, but the big monsters are kind of random. And I've heard someone make the comparison to Skyrim, where I do agree with this. Talking to other people playing it who are playing it have different stories to tell. Like, oh, at
Oh
this
yeah,
point, I was on a mountain and then all of a sudden a griffin landed by, like everybody has these individualized stories that are only yours because these things don't happen to everyone. It's not this pre-scripted event where this griffin lands. Like that griffin's flying around and it may, or dragon, or there's the bull things, there's the Bigfoot, I don't know what to call them, the big troll things. Those things like appear at random, and there's certain areas where you know where they're at, but it's like there's times
you
where the
could just be
griffin lands,
attacked
and
anytime. Yeah,
yeah, I had no idea there were griffins in the game, and it like just landed by. Well, I did at the beginning, but don't want to spoil it if no one's played it. That's not a spoiler. It's the first 10 minutes. Anyways, I didn't know there would be like in the open world, there'd be like this special thing, but they're out there, and same with the dragons. They're out there too. I don't
my
think
camera
that's a
just turned
spoiler.
off.
So I'm gonna restart a little bit because Ryan's having some technical
What did I
difficulties on
say?
his end. So
What did I say?
so I don't know in the edit where you come back to. So
It's a
what I was
setup.
saying was it stopped again.
No, no, I was saying it's the setup. I mentioned that I have a
Oh,
new setup and it's gonna
I
cause
thought you
some
said it
problem.
stopped. Okay. Anyways, what I was saying, I'm gonna continue whether you disappear or not. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
talk
just keep
to
talking.
everybody listening. Dragon's Dogma. People, I heard someone make this comparison that the open world isn't scripted and everybody has their own individual stories.
Yeah,
And talking to other people who've played, they have different experiences on what they run into. And it's not, there's some repeat goblins, like I said before, but it's not scripted in a way. And I think it's this community of people telling stories and talking about what had happened to them and where they ran into something like a griffin. Or it's not like Elden Ring, where Elden Ring, it's the boss is where the boss is at, and everyone knows
everything
where
in
to go to
Elden
fight
Ring is
that
like
boss.
mapping out the enemies, best beating them, like forming a strategy on how to get through
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's not like that. It's more like running into giants in Skyrim. So I heard this story. I don't know if you heard this or someone. I haven't done this yet. Like the griffin landed, and one of the mechanics of the game
I
is you
know
can
what you're about to
grab
say.
things.
Yeah,
And this guy apparently jumped on the back of the griffin and grabbed the griffin until it like fled. And then when it flew away, he flew off with it throughout the open world. And it took him back to its nest. Did you
yeah,
hear about this?
yeah. I saw. I think I
Yeah.
saw a clip. Well, I don't think it flew him back to his nest, but I saw a clip of it flying him like near the ocean, and it just dropped him like in a river, and the freaking river Cthulhu got him.
Yeah, I heard this one where this guy grabbed onto it and it took him to the nest, and there's a bunch of, I don't know, rare items in the nest.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, so
I
I don't,
wonder
I
if
don't
that
know,
can.
but there's
I
some
wonder
things
if
like
that's like
that.
a scripted. Like, can that happen to any Griffin you ride? Ride?
I don't know.
That's
I don't know. I've never let one take me away because I was afraid of like where it end up and not be able to get back.
that's like what
So
one of the things I think it does really good at is its open world, its randomness, it's like change with every player
yeah,
playing it.
the combat is fun. It reminds me of a really like modern polished version of which I haven't played the remake, Kingdoms of Alamar. Um, Reckoning. Is that
Oh
what it's called?
yeah, Reckoning. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like one of the
Reckoning.
first games I beat.
That's kind of what the combat reminds me of. I mean, it's not like super in depth, but I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's not. I don't know. It really feels, the word that comes to mind is video gamey. It feels classic.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like for a while was I did not understand the health and healing, because your health doesn't heal and it goes down like over time the more damage you take,
And
and
you
you have to
need the
sleep.
rest, yeah.
Yeah, and you had to pay to stay in inns, and then I didn't realize the camp kits or whatever, you can replenish your stuff anywhere in the
And they
wild.
don't
That
like
changed
break
everything.
instantly.
No, I've never had one break yet. I don't know how they break. You get attacked or something. I've
Yeah, I
never
think
had
you
that
get
happen. So
attacked, and like the higher quality ones will last longer, like more attacks, I think. I only got attacked
yeah,
once.
so I don't even understand like what, I don't understand how, I don't know. But that for me, it's not, maybe it was explained. I don't know. I don't like games that are super technical. You got to figure out how to play.
See,
So like it's not,
that is my domain.
yeah, I don't like that. But
Oh,
so
and
this
getting my
game
A handed to
is,
me by bosses. I thrive on that.
it's like Dark Souls.
Oh
But
yeah.
so this game though, it took me a minute to grab, but not as long as I thought. Because for a moment when I bought it, I was like, oh no, I just wasted $70. But after I kind of figured it out a little bit, and it was mainly the healing part. Once I figured that out, I really enjoyed the game. The game's really not hard, and money is everywhere.
Yeah, that's what
So
I heard. Like it
yeah,
um
my
mm,
I love the physics, like getting thrown
that's yeah, that is
and
one of the things that any game that adds physics, my camera stopped.
yeah.
Any game that adds physics, I freaking love.
Oh well, do you just want to continue
We're
with
just
no camera?
continuing.
All right,
F
it's just
you.
just me. So anyways, what were we saying? The
The
physics. So
physics.
the physics. Yeah, the physics are so fun in the game. Getting thrown or tossed around by a boss is always fun. I don't know what they call them, mini bosses, the big beasts you might fight. Also, I don't know why I find it hilarious. I was gonna make a montage. I haven't made it, but a ton of clips of me just face planting, either jumps I thought I could make, and then your character just kind of, as he
Oh,
falls, he slowly falls forward, and then like you're about to just eat it, and it's just face plants. It's so freaking funny looking. So I
yeah, I
have a
saw
montage of
so
that.
many of those, and every single one made me die laughing.
Oh my gosh, I have so many I need to send you, but
Yeah, I'll put them like overlay them here. They are just
I
so
hope, yeah,
funny.
I have a bunch, but so on top of that, like climbing the monsters is so fun. Like you grab, I don't know if I got the clip or not, but I was fighting one of the big trolls, and he went to like grab me, and as his hand came at me, I pressed the right trigger, how you grab onto them. I pressed the right trigger and like grabbed his hand as he grabbed me. So I went with his hand, and then when he came back, I just crawled up his arm and I was just stabbing his shoulder. That is, I don't know why it's so fun. It, like where you stab them matters too. So I don't know. I haven't picked up on like if you stab their arm, it hurts their arm or anything like that. But like stabbing their head does more damage. So it's fun to like crawl, just climb up all the way to the top of their head and just start stabbing their skull. And it's so,
I don't think I
I don't know,
could
it's
stab.
fun.
I was an archer. I don't know. I may have not have been able to.
I'm playing as it's the thief, right? Is that what they call them?
I think.
It's like
Yeah.
rogue,
Rogue or thief.
whatever. It's like the two daggers, but I'm having a lot of fun with that. I don't think I'm going to switch it up. This is one thing this game does allow you to do, is to switch your classes like mid game. You can,
Oh
your
yeah.
vocations, what they call. Yeah, you can change that up. So that's cool. The pawn system,
This is
which,
my like one of my favorite things. I actually have a lot to say about this. Is
well, yeah, I'm gonna say go ahead because I
I so something I love about games is like there are ways to add multiplayer and a community to a game that doesn't involve like actually co-op or PvP or even seeing the players. Like it reminds me of the old like DS days of like the walking around like the Mii's, the Wii or the what is it, the 3D Street. Like
yes,
it adds
like the
that fun
avatars that
community.
you
Like
make.
it makes the game feel kind
Hmm.
of alive, like in a weird sense, and it adds a community I love to games that do like that, where you're interacting with players, but you're not actually seeing them. You're just seeing something they're
Yeah.
leaving for you. And like it reminds me of Death Stranding, how you're explaining that like you could leave things
Yes.
around. And Elden Ring, how you leave the notes and crap like that. I love that like sense of
Yeah.
community, like players helping each other.
It's kind of like a co-op. It's not co-op, but you do feel like you're not in what you're doing alone. It feels like, oh, these are people. We're kind of all helping each other here. Like and also the pawn system too is like, people. if people, if you're watching or listening to this, you create your own companion, and then your companion gets hired out by other players, and they can bring that experience and things back. And same for, you can hire their pawns too. And people create the weirdest things. The character creation
What
in
is
this
it?
game
The
was
nightmare,
insane.
the nightmare Pikachu and that weird. I don't know what was the you posted in Discord. It was like the frowning face.
Oh,
I gotta put it up, and I think I may have mentioned it to you. I know I mentioned
I
it to
don't know.
Mason. You probably won't get this reference at all, but it reminded me of a like meme that goes around in the like Attack on Titan community. Of it just I'll put it up on screen in this, but it reminded me of that, and we were just dying laughing looking at the characters. And yeah, just like walking around and seeing like Kratos or 2B from Nier walking around, or some ridiculous monstrosity like
Yeah.
randomly that you see is just so fun in it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Attack on Titan, but I haven't seen any of those super ridiculous ones in the game. But there are some goofy ones out there. People creating some super cool like Kratos, and I see a lot of Kratos
Oh
versions.
yeah.
Looks like everyone's like, it's like a generic. Everything looks like a generic version of what it is. But you see what it is. But I've seen Hitman,
Actually, I've
Agent
seen them pretty
47.
like they're not close, but they are like I don't even know how long you spent in here doing this to make that, but my gosh, I applaud you for getting it that close to like the actual characters like Kratos and everything like the like
Oh yes,
I can't imagine
yeah.
how long it takes.
The character creation too wasn't super like it was. I like how it's laid out. It's so easy to get through.
I
But there's so
spend
much you
hours in
can.
character creation. Oh, the mailman's
There's
here.
my headphones are peaking. Lost Kratos. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the pawn system. I don't
Oh yeah,
remember what
that's
we were
where
saying
we
about it.
were.
How we like it. It's cool. We like it. It's a like optional, unobtrusive co-op feature where you can hire your friends' pawns. You can hire random pawns. There's all kinds of weird. It's fun just to go into like the pawn portals where you're kind of pawn shopping.
Oh
The pawn
yeah.
shop. That's what they should call that. The pawn shop.
Well,
But
like me and Mason kind of like dubbed it is it's like being a pimp and pimp shopping because the strategy for Rift Crystals is to make whatever pawn you have like you pimp them out. You get the
Mhm.
skimpiest clothes on them because we're laughing that
that
it's
was
kind of
that was a joke with the original Dragon's Dogma too.
yeah,
Which I guess we should have said. I want to say this before. I never played the original's Dogma
me neither.
and original Dogma, and I don't feel like you're missing out on anything. You don't need to play it.
No, it is.
Um,
This is a remake more like it is a remake more than a
yeah,
sequel. But
yeah, that's what I've been told too.
something that makes me laugh about the whole like the pimping them thing is we're laughing that me and Mason were laughing that it's different because you're not like gaming the game with like pimping your pawns or like this isn't a mechanic in the game. It is a like you are manipulating other people to make your pawn more appealing so that you're manipulating people, not the game. Like it's like
So,
you're playing people, not the game, and it's hilarious. Like it adds like
yeah.
a weird like
Oh,
player element to it.
another thing too is like the bigger. There, my cat's now in the background, almost a subwoofer. But another thing about it is the bigger your character is, the more weight they can carry.
Oh
So like
yeah.
I ran into this like gigantic fat shirtless guy, and his name was just Mule, because like you would hire him to just be your mule to just carry your stuff around. Which it does play a huge factor in this game when you're gathering a bunch of resources, because like we said, the travel element is such a big part of this. If you have too much weight, you slow down, and it takes weight. I mean, you really slow down, and it does get annoying. So you can offload a lot of the weight to your pawns, and having pawns that can carry a lot is super helpful.
Oh yeah. And I made the mistake of making my character very tiny with
Yeah,
massive thunder thighs. And it like I couldn't carry crap.
your character or your pawn.
No, my character. Yeah, my he
Oh,
had massive thunder thighs. I maxed out the butt and thighs on him
what?
because it was just
It's like the
funny.
little
And then I added the like
wobble around.
slanted like walk. I was just going ridiculous with them.
Oh, the walk creation was funny
Oh yeah.
too. Like it was cool how much you can do. You can do some weird stuff with how they walk. But yeah, I haven't beat it yet. I am probably like, I've probably put 20 to 30 hours in there by now. But I haven't got very far. But yeah, I'm not really like engrossed in the story, but for me, it's a good casual play. And I am enjoying it.
I feel like from what I saw, it didn't have that great of a story.
I mean, the story is there,
It's
but
there, is what I feel like.
I'm interested in the story, but it's not like super fascinating
Yeah.
so far.
Which
I don't know.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really. A game not having the best story or a story at all isn't an absolute deal breaker to me. Like it's barely even that much of a con in a game like this because I feel like the story wasn't like their priority. The world, the character, like the world and everything was. That's just my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's not awful.
yeah.
So far. Like I said, I haven't finished it, but yeah. That's really all I have to say about that. Dragon's Dogma. It's fun. Go play it. Give it a try.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Something I had here is I almost completely forgot about this. Uh, I mentioned a while ago the meat cutscenes. You saw them, right?
Oh yes. I did. I actually just seen them yesterday.
How
Yeah.
they're like
It's like real footage.
they're like
I
60
think
frames.
it's real footage.
Oh, it's real footage. I'll get into that
Yeah.
in a second. It's like 60 frames, like 8K, like amazing. Like it's better than the game because it is real footage. And
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, it's when you go cook something at the fire, right? Because that's what
yeah,
or is it
so I think it was game 4 some article they mentioned that they asked him about what's up with the meat cutscenes. I think the director, I don't know who it is, it's Suna, and they said that they asked him about the realistic meat you can grill up while camping at the game, with the interviewer commentating, just looking at it made me hungry. Well, Suna, which I think is the director, revealed there's a good
I am.
reason for that. We could have used CG to depict the meat, he said, but we decided to spend the money on buying good meat instead. That right there is what I want in games. That's just hilarious. Like it's a random funny detail that when you trace it back to like an interview, just they decided to get good meat, cook it, videotape it, and eat it. Like that's just hilarious to me.
Yeah. It looks awesome. I want to hear footage. I want to see an interview of the people who actually ate it and talk about how it was.
Yeah, I would assume they ate it, but I just like because it's just so funny to me like that because we were joking about like the meat and everything looking really good, and then you get an interview that they decided instead of doing CG they just filmed good meat.
I assume it was cheaper. So I've only seen the one cutscene. Is there only one,
No,
or is there multiple types of meat?
there's a lot. I compiled
I
like
was
a
gonna say, I only seen the
40-second
one.
clip of it, but yeah,
Of all the meats.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. It looks. Yeah, it's funny because when I seen it, I'm like, that's real. That doesn't even match the game.
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out that like it looked real, but like no game does that. Make meat the real thing, like the
I don't know. I
insanely.
feel like a lot of Japanese games do that. Like Yakuza's food always looks so good.
Good point. They do
Like,
put
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of money
I
on the
don't know.
meat.
I don't know why. Yeah, Japanese games like that. They always put so much detail in their food in games. There's always so much detail in them.
I've never actually looked into that. Yeah, same with like anime. Food's always like a big thing.
Yeah, like even Rockstar. Think about like Rockstar's detailed as they are. They don't even put that much into their food
No,
and the games.
they don't.
Yeah.
Now, should we even talk about the microtransactions? Is that even?
Maybe. I mean, up to you.
So
There's microtransactions.
it's kind of just
they're
a
not
trend
good.
of every game nowadays. Like it's just there's microtransactions. This is
I guess go over what are the things you can buy.
so you can. This is kind of my problem with the fast travel. Like my big thing is you can buy fast travel stones, which I don't. A lot of people were saying that it didn't affect the game and everything like that, which there's no real way to know if because we've seen in past like the higher ups affecting games for microtransactions. It's a thing which kind of sours me on the fact that you can't, like, fast travel is lock bannable. Like, I would probably have way less of a harsh opinion on it if it was the game the way the game was, but you can pay for it, so it has that thought of, okay, this could have been a predatory like system. You can also pay for gel keys and the I think the rift crystals, which is like the currency, and I think
Yes.
probably other things I'm forgetting about, but I just think
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
aside from DLC like story content and like added content, I don't think microtransactions have a place in single player games at all, like ever. I don't think there's any
No,
reason.
no, no. Microtransactions are.
Oh,
I
and
don't ever.
especially on a $70 game.
Yeah. Well, I get they're gonna make their money somewhere, but I just don't think that's the answer.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. The things you can buy too. It reminds me of the days when microtransactions were like new, and they started adding things like we'll make them pay for these things that would normally be in the game, or get more of the things you can collect in the game. Yeah, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't like it.
yeah, I would
Never a
like
fan of
to also
microtransactions.
say that this is kind of a Capcom thing. They do this with all, or not Cap, is it Capcom or Sega? It might, it's whom, oh,
Capcom. So much screen.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I said
They
Capcom.
do it with like all their games, Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry. They have microtransactions like this, and like Devil May Cry, you could buy these skill points and I think money in it. I don't think that's good in any, like I was just made
No.
aware of it, and like
Hey.
I don't know, I think it's horrible. Like I don't think that is always a con, like that you do that. I don't really care what it is. But yeah, it's pretty much that. That was like my that and faster were like my main
Yep.
big problems.
They're in the game. They're there. So brace yourself. But like, I never, so far, I'm not the only one that said this, but like, there's been nothing that's made me feel like I need to buy any of them.
They're
Playing the
more of
game.
like I think they're more important beginning of the game over like end,
Yeah,
because
but
you get like a
no,
certain amount of money I think later
I
on.
don't like the game. I absolutely do not feel like anything is making me feel like I need to buy anything at all. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Yeah.
I think that's important to say.
I kind of still I kind of wish you could just fast travel everywhere, like just constantly, and that's the one thing.
Well, so there are the aux carts. We didn't mention that. There are
Oh
aux
yeah, you
carts where you can
can
like
fast
travel
travel
from
town to town.
specific point to point, and and usually they get stopped. I mean, usually it's like 90% of the time they get attacked. You have to stop, and that cart can get destroyed, and then you're just stuck somewhere in the middle, and you got to find your way back. So if you're ever somewhere and you want to take an aux cart to get back and like save and finish your game session, you might get stopped and you're stuck in the wilderness. You got to find a campsite or something. It's really not that big a deal, I don't think.
Yeah, I
But
don't. Yeah, I though I don't know what you can actually watch the entire ox cart ride. Do you know that?
yeah, and you can skip it. Yeah, you can
You can
skip it
skip
too.
it. I just found it strange that you could do that. I don't. I can't imagine anyone doing that. I mean, I don't really care. Doesn't really affect me in any way. I just found it odd. But yeah,
Yeah.
the game just wasn't for
Yeah,
me.
the ox cart goes slower than you running, I think. It's
Oh
so
yeah,
slow.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Dragon's Dogma
A lot of people like
is a
it.
good one.
It's. I will admit that it's not it's not awful. It's just not the game for me. Like it.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of people that don't like it, it's not anything like personal to the game. It's just
the
not their
only
type
thing
of
that I
game.
would say is like a absolute con is the microtransactions. The running thing is people like that. I just don't like it, and
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a bold move on their part
oh,
to
yeah.
decide to
Which I
take
would
fast
prefer
travel.
games. I always prefer games that take bold moves that would alienate a lot of people over trying to make every game for
But
everyone. I'm fine with the games not being for me.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Or you just end up with Fortnite.
yeah, for Fortnite.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Now,
So they don't want to go down a Fortnite rabbit hole.
the worst part is I like the game. It's fun, but
I liked it way back, but
I'm.
I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into this right now. It's a whole other thing.
It's a whole nother
But
thing.
I think the Fortnite campaign was better than Battle
Oh,
Royale.
Save the World. That was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
All right, now final thing. Moving on to final thing, right? Anything like to
I
add?
guess so.
The final thing I want to close this out with,
Nope.
which
Nothing else.
is something funny I found. So I was just going through the Crunchyroll. You know what Crunchyroll is, right?
Mhm.
The store. I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I got there from Elden Ring. I was I think like on the Bandai Namco. I think looking at the what is it, the collector edition, the Mesmer thing, the new collector edition.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think I somehow got from there to Crunchyroll, and I encountered something I did not know was a thing. And I am going to send this to you. Um, figure it out.
And what?
In Discord. So it has a manga.
Hey, wait, you sent it over to me?
Yeah.
What is this, a photo?
It has a
Okay,
manga.
I'm looking at it now.
I didn't know that. And
Wait, Elden Ring has
yes,
a manga?
it is a manga. And I I for a while was like, what could it be about? Like, what could this possibly be about? Like, Elden Ring is not a game that I would think would be able to have a story. And it's like I think its first chapter is called "You Thought This Was Gonna Be Serious." It's like a comedy thing. Like, I think the whole thing is a joke. Like, because like no one expects Elden Ring to have like a comic because it just wouldn't work. There's no way. And I just found that scrolling through Crunchyroll and thought it was the funniest thing that the first chapter is called "You Thought This Would Be Serious," and then it talks about like I think like a funny adventure on like the whatever the place is called. But yeah, it was just something funny I found, and I thought I'd put it
Interesting.
here.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
All right. Time to close it out. Any final thoughts?
Wait. There's a new game that just dropped.
Yeah.
Caitlin mentioned we should look at it. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay,
But
that's good.
you remember?
That's good.
Apparently, it's Stardew Valley
Here,
in
I'll
the
search
Lord
for
of the
it.
Rings.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Stardew.
I don't know if there's a trailer for it or not, but I don't know if you wanted to watch that here.
Give me
But yeah, so
Tales of,
first,
was it Tales of something?
I don't remember, but I know it was something that
Tales
just
of Shire?
sounds right. I don't
Who
know.
makes it?
Sounds familiar.
Right. Should I drop it in the Discord?
No, I don't think that's it. Tales of Shire. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Wait, is that not it?
Oh, Caitlin is yelling. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
There it is. I posted in Discord.
So this trailer, I'm gonna watch it. Ready?
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
There are many tales of Middle-earth,
Okay, it's actually Lord of the Rings.
tales of courage and
Yeah.
brave deeds.
Yeah, I guess
in
like it's not
dark
like
times.
it's not a Lord of the Rings like light
That
thing.
is not our story.
I just didn't. I thought it was like a. I
For
didn't.
this is
okay.
one
Who makes
of
it then?
new beginnings.
It's a cool
That's not
trailer.
gonna work.
This is really cool.
Oh, this game's gonna do well. I think they're
Yeah.
banking on the like, what is it, the farming craze.
The Lord of the Rings game. This sounds weird. 2024.
From Weta Workshop.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the trailer looked cool, but I never really got into Stardew Valley. I've actually re-downloaded it. I'm trying to, but I do enjoy those types of games.
Oh yeah. Stardew Valley is
100%,
like
like,
the
I love-
funnest I think of all.
Really, over Animal Crossing? That's the same category,
We gonna
right?
get into this right now?
I guess not.
I hate Animal Crossing.
What?
Like, yeah, I do not like it.
No, I'm defending Animal Crossing.
You know what? We should just make an entire episode.
I'm gonna say
of me
It's
rant.
stupid to hate Animal Crossing. You can hate a lot of games. There's a lot of things to hate in life, but something that is stupid is to
put-
hate Animal Crossing.
So much time into Animal Crossing, like 60 hours. The grand goal of building a castle, like a castle with like a moat and everything, like and so my goal is to make like a wall surrounding my house and a moat in between those walls. I couldn't do it because the game were at the highest point. I wanted to make like in the highest point in my island.
So you hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. Because it was my goal. That was what I was earning through. I trudged through so
That's
much
not a good enough reason to hate it.
slaving for Tom Nook to build to get to the final, like the construction part, and realized I couldn't put a river
Tom
close
Nook
to
is a
things.
legitimate businessman.
No, he's a criminal and a crook.
He sees holes in the market and he fills them as needed.
Yeah, predatorily. He's awful. F
There's
him.
nobody else on the island.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and you
As far as
can't.
we know, he's like the only adult on the island, and they're all just children.
Yeah. I just
That-
that we can do. I could fill a whole one of these podcast episodes of ranting about the game on the
Well,
skipping, how long it takes to do everything. I'm not gonna. I'll end it.
I don't think people would like that. I don't think people would
Oh,
care
I'm
to hear
going
that,
to get
'cause
raked
you're-
over
'cause
the
you-
coals for this.
Because you're the only person that hates Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
There is nobody with you on that.
yeah. There really isn't.
There's no. So, anyways, what was it called? Tales of the Shire, or what is it?
Oh yeah, Tales of the
What was
Shire.
it called again? Tales of the Shire. Game just announced. Pretty cool. Thought we should look at it because it's somewhat
Who
relevant.
makes it? I'm curious. Private Division, is that the publisher or?
I have no idea. I didn't even look at it till Caitlin had mentioned it right before we started.
This is gonna be
recording.
big.
So
I guarantee you it.
this year. Well, that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye. Wait, when does it come out? Did it have a release date? I do not pay attention.
It said
to
2024. It says 2024, but
Yeah, I wonder if this is.
So,
this is
like,
probably
today,
announced
now?
with the
Who
Embracer
knows?
split.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, looks good. End it off now.
That's all I have.
Thanks for watching. As always, unsubscribe, dislike, and leave a hate comment. I'm sure I'll get a lot of them on this with my Animal Crossing take. I
Yeah.
am.
Everybody,
Well-
yeah, let Ryan know how wrong he is about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, please do, because I realize I'm mostly wrong about this. I just have an irrational hatred of the game. I apparently just like hating on everything new, like Starfield and this. But yeah, all right. Thanks for watching, and that's it. Bye.